Starting off this pre-Friday with the latest track from Sleep Theory, Static. Yes, I played it yesterday for It's So New here at the top of the 5 p.m. hour. I just love that track so much. I'm like, you know what? I'll drag it in. I'm running a bit behind when it comes to prep, only because I've spent the last 2 days doing lengthy interviews prepping for both of those. Well, I shouldn't say I prepped for the second one. I chatted with Joey and Lauren. I even told them at the beginning part of the episode for my new podcast that I was like, you know what? I'm so fatigued from the Shane Told interview, Shane Told of Silverstein, that the whole conversation's available on our YouTube channel, by the way, at KBarrett101RMG. I spent 2.5 hours here yesterday time-stamping the entire thing, so it's divided into chapters. You can listen to whichever part of the interview that you want to listen to. If you don't want to listen to the entire thing, if you got too much time, you got too much going on that you don't have enough time, you can just fast forward to wherever you want to in that interview there. It's, again, at KBarrett101RMG on YouTube. Shane Told, one of the nicest guys out there. 25 years of noise in Silverstein. They're currently on that tour. Chatted with him about that. Chatted with him about his love for pinball as well as sports. We even briefly talked about the NBA trades with the NBA trade deadline going on today. So if you're into sports, you might want to fast forward to that section. It's available there, and I'll get it up soon here on the Artist Interrogations podcast as well. So much stuff to get done. Today has certainly flown by. I can't believe it's already 2 p.m., and I'm glad we're going fast towards Friday. Very excited for the weekend to do absolutely nothing. If you want to get a hold of me, you know the number, 208-535-1015. At the start of the show, I briefly mentioned the NBA trade deadline. I think that's today. Today's the last day for any team to get rid of the players they don't want, and it really does suck to see, these players set up shop essentially, like, they buy a house or maybe just an apartment in that area. They grow fond of that neighborhood that they're in, and next thing you know, they're getting shipped off to Cleveland out of all places. Wouldn't that suck? I would say the worst possible trade would have to be from the Miami Heat to maybe the Cleveland Cavaliers or the, it slipped my mind now, Detroit Pistons. Yeah, imagine going from Florida to Detroit. If I was in the NBA and they sent me to Detroit from the Miami Heat, at the next game where we faced Miami, I would be fouling every single player, causing a havoc out there on the court. Even though the players have nothing to do with it, I would just be that mad. I got sent to Detroit out of all places. What would be the worst possible team to be on in the NBA? That's a good question. What would be the worst possible team to be on in the NBA? Google searching that right now. I feel like they wouldn't openly say it. I'm thinking the Detroit Pistons. That or the Cleveland Cavaliers. One of those two teams. Ohio, Michigan, I don't know. I feel like it's a tie between those two. All right, this headline got me. I, for some reason, see reusable toilet paper, and I go, okay, that's a little weird. Did someone try saying they invented it, or are they actually using it? Like, what's going on? Well, this young mom on TikTok, she explains that her family saves money by using reusable toilet paper. Now, it's not as bad as you think. It's still bad, but it's not as bad as you would think. She's not actually using toilet paper and then using the same toilet paper again. Instead, she explains that everyone in her family uses a small towel instead of toilet paper. And when they're done using it, they toss it in the quote-unquote dirty bin and it goes into the laundry. Now, she did add one caveat, though. Everyone uses the bidet first, which does most of the cleaning, right? And she was trying to say it's really more common than what you would think, but it's just, I look at the headline, even on the TikTok video, I just washed all of our reusable toilet paper. That sounds a whole lot worse than what it actually is. Peach's Pit Party on KBarrett 101. We added a bunch of new tracks to Jenks Show. Finally, took us weeks to get this done, but there was other tasks that were higher priority, but finally got done. I'm scheduling Jenks Show right now for the weekend. We added the latest from Whitechapel and a whole bunch of other tracks. And I was thinking, I'm like, man, Whitechapel, there's certainly a lot of their songs in the Jenks Show library, but I was also seeing the streaming numbers and went, okay, yeah, well, they're popular. And they're probably one of the most popular, if not the most popular, especially with this upcoming album. Very excited for it. I got a giant flag of theirs. Once again, shout out to Mohawk Mikey. I still owe him for getting me that awesome flag from the Whitechapel show down in Salt Lake City. What was it, like 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. He walks up, he drops it up at my place and then shows me pictures of the show on his phone. It was like, yeah, we saw people leaving with bloody mouths and bloody noses. To me, I'm like, you know what? I'm glad you have fun, but that would not be me. If someone were to punch me in the face at a show like that and think they can get away with it, I'd be going right after them. I would not survive in the Whitechapel pit. I would just get full on taken out of that show for trying to fight that guy. I don't know. I feel like that's just a dumb thing to me to stand there and, you know, there's one thing to headbang. There's another thing to do a mosh pit. But if you're throwing punches, there's only a certain amount of dudes that could get away with that. Like if I were to start throwing punches in the pit, people get knocked over. They would say, hey, big guy, calm down. But if it's a guy who's like Victor size, they don't care because his punches will feel like, you know, some air going towards you, that type of thing. Like, was that the wind? No, it was Victor punching me. And this right here is your Shot Clock Sports Update. The trade of Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers has been so unpopular with the Dallas Mavericks fans that the team is reportedly offering some season ticket holders refunds to keep them coming to games. A couple of fans told Dallas area reporters that they were offered a refund of $2,000 if they agreed to hang on to their seats. The Mavericks haven't confirmed the offer, but did tell ESPN that we value every season ticket member relationship, and reps are available to take calls from members with any concerns or questions. I think the Mavericks Instagram account lost like close to 1 million followers. Luka Doncic has his following, man. He's a superstar. When you get rid of your best player, obviously there's going to be some punishment with that. What a dumb decision. I think so actually I might talk about this in the next break because I want to keep things moving forward here. Over the past couple of weeks, NBA star Jimmy Butler made it clear to the Miami Heat that he wanted to be traded. He was suspended multiple times for missing team flights, walking out of practice. Well, yesterday he was rewarded for that bad behavior by being traded to the Golden State Warriors. Remember earlier on in the show, I was talking about like what would be the worst team to send a player to? Detroit. What if they sent this player? Well, they probably wouldn't have gotten anything in return. Wasn't he on? He was on Miami. Yeah, he was on Miami. Could you imagine if he was sent to Detroit from Miami? That's something I would do. If I had one of my players acting up, causing fights in practice, sure enough, I'd be like, hey, buddy, pack your bags, get yourself a winter coat, and let's hope you don't, you know, make the wrong people mad over there in Detroit type of thing. But no, they sent him to San Francisco, which is still very bad, but, you know, he'll live the good lifestyle over there. He'll live the good life over there. And plus, I mean, he might win a championship with Steph Curry. I don't know. But the distraction was a messy end to a good run with the Heat, where Butler played for 5 seasons, appeared in 2 NBA Finals. I can't believe he was traded to the Golden State Warriors in a multi-team deal. Anyway, that does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Barrel 101. So I was going to get to this during the Shot Clock Sports Update. This is not really sports news. It's just us laughing at what I would think is a genius of the day, which, by the way, you can hear that segment on the Victor Wilt Show every single weekday morning, 6:45 a.m. The owner of the Dallas Mavericks, or I think the general manager, I think the owner is still Mark Cuban, isn't it? Or did he sell the team? Who is the owner of the Dallas Mavericks? So, no, it's Miriam Adelson and her family bought the Dallas Mavericks on November 29th, 2023. I think Cuban sold the team. Yeah, Mark Cuban sold the team. He's no longer a part of it because I saw a lot of people, when they saw the news about the Luka Doncic trade, they were like, you know, Mark Cuban would never type of thing, which is true. Very true. One of the best owners out there. But, yeah, one of the new guys in charge, he was supposedly the guy that messed up a presentation so bad for Steph Curry to join the Nike team that he didn't get Steph Curry's name right, anything like that. Steph Curry was so offended that he ended up dropping his interest in Nike and went towards Under Armour. And that's, you know, look what he's done now with Under Armour. Generated millions of dollars of sales for Under Armour. He ruined that thing, that relationship, that presentation, and then he takes over the Mavericks and sure enough, gets rid of one of the best players in the league right now. Again, genius of the day worthy. Honestly, I forgot again that the Super Bowl is this weekend. I was reading some data here about 130 million Americans plan to go to a Super Bowl party or watch the big game at a bar. I might go to my friend's parents' house again, watch the game over there because, well, it's funny to watch the dad react to Patrick Mahomes doing anything out in the field. It's always great when you watch any sports game and you have someone there that's just extra passionate and they're over the top about it, like they have money on the game, which some of them might. And those are the really funny people to watch when they bet like tons of money on whatever team to win and they end up losing, so they break their television and they're out to even more money. A lot of nice Super Bowl displays at different stores. I was at Brolam's yesterday getting the orange cream Coke as well as my dinner, and they have that archway over the self-checkout to really hype up the Super Bowl. And I like it. It's cool, but I have to duck every time I go under it. I miss back when, they didn't have the archway to the self-checkout to where I didn't have to duck. Oh, a first world problem, I know. Peaches has to duck because he's too tall for the archway. I do like when stores go all out, especially when they set things up in an artistic way. Chips were real cheap, and I kind of want to pig out on Sunday, but I also want to make sure, I need to watch my diet still. I've been eating like garbage the past week. And if you want to go to the Super Bowl in person, sure enough, you have to buy the plane ticket out to New Orleans, but also it looks like it's going to get cheaper. It'll be cheaper this year than in recent memory. Ticket prices continue to drop. Day after day, the prices have fallen, and now the cheapest ticket available for the game is a little under $3,000. And you're probably like, whoa, what? That's still expensive, Peaches. Well, it's the Super Bowl. You should look at the people that are right there at the 50-yard line. Right close to the field. And it makes you wonder how much they paid for those tickets. At least $50,000 for two people. At least. It's extremely unfortunate to see people get old, especially when they develop horrible diseases like Parkinson's disease. My grandpa had it. It's a horrible thing. Horrible, horrible thing. Ozzy can't even walk, unfortunately. But was it Ozzy or Sharon? I think it was Ozzy on Ozzy's Boneyard on SiriusXM said that his voice is better than it's ever been, which is great. So if you do want to fly out to England in July, go see Black Sabbath, Ozzy most likely is going to be sitting down, which sucks. But also, like, how old is he? Is he like 76? He's survived a ton of stuff. I'm glad he's lived this long. He is 76. December 3rd, 1948. He sounds a whole lot better, too, now. You can tell he's gotten off of most things, if not all things. I'm glad to see him having fun with his kids. I forgot he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. He was diagnosed with it back in 2020, and he even said, I've made it to 2025. I can't walk, but you know what I was thinking over the holidays? For all my complaining, I'm still alive, is what he said. And my dad got the chance to meet him not that long ago and, got the whole record signed by him. And he seemed like he was, alert and there and everything. My dad, one of the coolest gifts my dad has ever gotten me was a signed Ozzy record, still on display somewhere in my place. Please don't steal it. Please don't. Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. I was looking at this story here about the Jacksonville Jaguars. They will, of course, not be appearing at the Super Bowl this year, but the team's owner, Shad Khan, is going to be there. His team stinks, but he does have a nice yacht, which is now docked in New Orleans. This thing called the Kismet supposedly cost him around $400 million. It's longer than a football field, has 3 pools, 4 fireplaces, a spa, a gym, a basketball court, and even an outdoor cinema. I need to see a picture of this. It looks huge. Oh, yeah, there it is. How do you play basketball on a yacht? I feel like it would just be kind of hard to do so, right? 4 fireplaces. It's something that, like, I can't even fathom. Like, even if I was on the yacht, I still would be like, this is a legitimate boat. Like, being inside of it, like, we're still on the water. Like, this thing could sink. Yachts seem like the worst investment. There is that, that classic phrase, the 2 best days of owning a boat are the day that you buy it and the day that you sell it. That type of thing. I could not imagine this guy using his yacht's gym. I'm sure he just rides it to wherever, and that's about it. The only guy I know or I've seen posted on social media that he uses his yacht quite a lot is Magic Johnson. He posts from his yacht all the time. Him and his wife taking extravagant vacations. You know what I have to say about all that. Oh, good for you. I guess this could be a bit. How did you think you could travel with that? Maybe a better name could come up, or I could come up with a better name for this. I just saw that this person tried going through TSA at LAX with 37 live beetles. disguised as Japanese snacks. And sure enough, they were all in these different containers of sorts. Oh, were they inside the packaging? They were. They were. What were they going to do with 37 different insects? Like, what? The contraband was seized during a physical examination of a shipment arriving from Japan through air cargo. So it wasn't somebody traveling with that. It was, okay. Valued at $1,500. Wow. 37 live beetles hidden inside packages of Japanese snacks, chocolates, and potato chips. Are they going to send the bugs back? What are they going to do? Are they going to take them all out and step on every single one of them just to, end their misery? I don't know. So I apologize if you were thinking I was going to play a bit of the Silverstein interview, me talking to Shane Told of Silverstein on the air today. Maybe I could next hour if I can find a little clip from the interview that I'm like, yeah, you know what? That could be played. And then you could hear the rest of that long conversation between me and him on our YouTube channel at KBear101RMG. I need to get it posted still on the Artist Interrogations podcast as well. It's been a hectic past couple of days. Like I said at the beginning part of the show, I spent the first hour or so. Well, I spent the first hour here prepping, and then I spent the next hour interviewing Joey and Lauren, which are the morning show hosts on Z103 for a different podcast that I'm doing. I'm in charge of 4 or 5 podcasts, which you can find literally anywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, I should say anywhere that really matters type of thing. Peach's Pip Party. We also have the Noon Hour of Madness and Mayhem powered by Jalisco's. We also have, Victor's show. I'm not in charge of that one, but that's available to listen to. There's also the Artist Interrogations podcast. And then pretty soon, I'm hoping next week it'll launch the Talking Between the Songs podcast, me interviewing radio people, talking really in depth about the radio world. For those that are interested in the radio world, will find it interesting. For those that are listening to me right now going, I don't even know this guy's name. I just like to listen to the music on K-Bear. I don't feel like it's for that person, but maybe it will interest them. I don't know. All of our stuff's available on demand or at riverbendmediagroup.com. Well, Australia always seems like a cool place until you read the stories about the venomous snakes there or the various other wildlife that you can find in Australia, only in Australia. 102 venomous snakes were removed from the backyard of a home in Sydney, Australia, where several adult red bellies seemingly gave birth to 97 newborns. The news headlines making jokes. 101 Dalmatians, how about 102 red bellies? That type of thing, and it shows a bunch of those snakes in a bucket. Who had to wrangle those? I think they have a snake wrangler in Australia. I think we've talked about this before. Snake wrangler salary Australia. How much do they get paid? $30 to $35 per hour. That's not enough. For those people to handle snakes like that, they also have to work with, so they may also work as park rangers, first responders, or military personnel. That's pretty crazy. That would have been a tedious task to find all 102 snakes in this person's backyard. I'm sure they'll take these to a snake sanctuary, or I don't know, put them out back in the wild. I feel like they would just dump them into some wilderness area and drive away. I feel like that would be the best bet. Wow, they really changed up NBA All-Star Weekend. I remember back in my day when it used to just be a game of all the best players in the NBA, the best players in the world. Well, this reimagined event will take place Sunday, February 16th at the Chase Center, home of the Golden State Warriors. For the first time ever, the NBA All-Star Game will feature a mini tournament with 4 teams, 3 games. 2 teams will meet in one semifinal. The remaining 2 teams will meet in the other semifinal. The winning teams from Game 1 and Game 2 will advance to face each other in the championship. For each game, the winner will be the first team to reach or surpass 40 points. Okay, that's a little odd. Each team will have 8 players and be named for a TNT NBA analyst. So, yeah, the 3 teams will be Team Chuck, a.k.a. Charles Barkley, Shaq, Kenny, the Jet Smith. That draft is taking place tonight, February 6th. And that's going to be a weird thing. I don't know if I like this or not. I mean, I'm not a big fan of change, but it was better. It's better than what was happening before with these games that would go to 200 points. That was kind of annoying. There wasn't any defense being played. It was just kind of like, hey, look how good we are at the sport. We're entertaining you, right? Wrapping up Peach's Pip Party here. Well, shortly I will be, but I completely forgot to talk about the taste test that we did earlier about the orange cream Coke. That was our first letdown in quite some time. There wasn't really much orange to it. It definitely had that cream flavor towards the end, but it wasn't like anything good. It was just like, okay, they just threw this together, put it out there on the shelves. Coke, you got to do better. Even though I hate that phrase, you got to do better. I think Victor and I both even admitted during the recording, we're like, we may lean Team Pepsi. Maybe. But yeah, you can find all of the dumb stuff that we do or the weird stuff that we do on our YouTube channel at KBear101RMG. Definitely check out our latest upload, the Shane Told of Silverstein interview that I did yesterday. I might just keep that one to online exclusive just because I don't feel like I said before earlier on the show, getting some highlights from it, then putting it into the show tomorrow and that sort of thing. You can just go listen to it in your own free time because I'm too lazy. Not I'm too lazy. There's so much stuff to do that are way higher priority that if you're really interested, you can go to our YouTube channel, KBear101RMG. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.